Hello guys, welcome to Dr. Science. In this video I'll be talking about T lymphocytes and MHC class restriction. This is my part 4 video regarding the innate versus adaptive immunity, and these T lymphocytes come under adaptive immunity. So before going into deep into the subject, I will just give a brief explanation. Okay. So first we have to understand the concept of MHC restriction. This is very important because it has been asked in exams many times, so you have to understand this concept. So MHC stand for major histocompatibility. Okay, so suppose here is a cell and this cell is a antigen presenting cell. Can you name a cell which is an antigen presenting cell? Yeah, dendritic cell. Dendritic cells are type of antigen presenting cell, as I discussed on my previous videos. So suppose here comes a virus and this virus is coronavirus. So what the dendritic cell will do? The dendritic cell will take a bite of this coronavirus, and this dendritic cell will digest the coronavirus inside it. Once the coronavirus is digested, it will displace the surface antigen on the surface. Okay, it will displace this antigen on the surface, and this receptor here is called as MHC type 1 receptor. This receptor is MHC type 1 receptor. So here is another cell. Actually dendritic cell doesn't do the killing of viruses. Okay, it is just an antigen presenting cell. The killing of the viruses is done by mainly T lymphocytes or B lymphocytes. So suppose this is a T lymphocyte, and this T lymphocyte, in order to accept this antigen here, this is the antigen, right? It should also have a type of receptor. Okay, this receptor present here is called as CD8 receptor. Okay, so when the MHC class 1 receptor, which is present on, it is present on dendritic cell, comes in contact with CD8 receptor. So this is the CD8 receptor present on T lymphocyte. Then only there is activation of T lymphocytes. This is very important. Okay, MHC class 1 only activates CD8 positive T lymphocytes. Suppose here is another dendritic cell, and this dendritic cell on its surface have MHC type 2 receptor. Okay, and here is our antigen, the coronavirus antigen, and here is our T lymphocyte. Okay, so MHC class 2 receptor only activates, so these T lymphocytes have CD, it is CD4. Okay, CD4 is the right answer for this one. So MHC class 2 receptors will only activate CD4 positive. Then the T lymphocytes gets activated. Okay, so suppose I am giving a small quiz here for you guys, and here is the dendritic cell present with MHC class 1 receptor. So what is the T cell here? I am giving two options for you guys. One T cell is presented with CD4, and another T cell presented here is CD8. So this MHC class 1 receptor activates which kind of T lymphocyte? Yeah, it will activate this one, the CD8. Okay, they will activate these receptors, CD8 positive T cells. So here is a mnemonic which is very famous. So in order to remember this, there is a small mnemonic. So whenever MHC class 1 CD8, okay, so 1 into 8 is equals to 8. The end number should contain 8. So MHC class 1 should react with CD8 in order to give 8 number. Next is MHC class 2 CD4. So 2 into 4 is equals to 8. So this is the mnemonic about MHC class 1 and MHC class 2. So once you understand the concept of MHC restriction, we will move to another topic. What does the T cell receptor consist of? So here is the plasma membrane of the T cells. On this plasma membrane, this is the alpha part, this is the beta part. This together is called as T cell receptor. And what does this help? This helps in the binding of antigen. So suppose this is the coronavirus antigen, right? So alpha and beta, which are linked together by disulfide bonds. Okay, alpha and beta receptors which are linked together with disulfide bonds are called as T cell receptors. Not only that, they also contain, here is another proteins. This protein is called as delta and epsilon, and together they are called as CD3 proteins. And here there is another proteins. These proteins are called as gamma and epsilon. These are also called as CD3 proteins. Aside from that, there are other proteins called as, so here are other proteins. These proteins are called as Z proteins. These two Z proteins are called as epsilon. Okay, so this entire complex here, we have to include other protein, and this protein is very important because this is CD4 protein. Okay, so this is the T cell receptor. So alpha and beta, they are called as T cell receptor, and this entire complex is called as T cell receptor complex. Okay, so that was about T cell receptors. So as I discussed earlier, alpha and beta together attached with disulfide bond. This type of T cell receptor is present in 95% of the T cells, and they follow MHC restriction. Okay, they follow the MHC restriction, whereas there are some type of receptors which are not alpha and beta. They are called as gamma and delta. Okay, gamma and delta type of receptors, T cell receptors. So instead of alpha and beta present here, there is gamma and delta. Okay, so gamma and delta doesn't follow the MHC restriction. This is very important. Okay, only the gamma and delta T cell receptor doesn't follow the MHC restriction. So where are these type of lymphocytes present? They are mainly present in respiratory epithelium, and the skin, gastrointestinal tract, and urogenital tract. Okay, skin, gastrointestinal tract, and urogenital tract. There are also T cells. So suppose this is the T cell here, but the receptor present on it, it have the properties of natural killer cells. Okay, these are called as T cells with natural killer cell receptors, and these obvious they also have to follow MHC restriction. These follow MHC restriction, but this in this the MHC restriction, suppose this is the T cell with natural killer cell receptor. So the antigen presenting cell here, which is the dendritic cell, on its surface either it should be MHC class 1 or MHC class 2, but in these T cells with natural killer cell receptor, they don't follow these MHC class 4 or MHC class 2. They follow another method. This is called as CD1 MHC type of molecule. Okay. So next we will talk about T lymphocytes. T lymphocytes are mainly divided into CD4 positive. It means their receptor consists of CD4 is a co-receptor, right? Main receptors are alpha and beta. CD4 everything else is co-receptor. So CD4 positive and CD8 positive. So under CD4 positive T lymphocytes, we will find mainly, yeah, you are right, T helper. T helper cells are divided into 3 types, right? T helper 1, T helper 2, and T helper 17. And the other one is T regulatory cells. T regulatory cells are used in immunosuppression. Next we will be talking about CD8 positive. CD8 positive are mainly T cytotoxic. Okay. T cytotoxic comes under CD8 positive. So that was about T cell receptors. So now we will take a look at the image here as discussed earlier. So this is the antigen presenting cell, which is the dendritic cell. So dendritic cell have the receptor of, yeah, either MHC class 1 or MHC class 2. So as you can see, so this is the MHC class 2 molecule. MHC class 2 binds with, yeah, CD4 positive, right? So as you can see, this is the CD4 positive present on T lymphocyte. So since it is a CD4 positive, the T lymphocyte is either T helper or T regulatory. Okay, and as you can see, the alpha and beta type, this entirely consists of the T cell receptor. Here is the CD3 proteins. Here are the two CD3 proteins which consist of epsilon, and this one is gamma. Okay, and here is the CD3 protein with epsilon, and this one is delta. And here is the zeta chain. Zeta chain consists of two Z proteins. Okay, aside from that, there is also hook proteins. So they look like a hook, so I named it hook proteins in order to remember. The CD8 is present on lymphocyte. everything here is the lymphocyte side. Okay, so it consists CD22, whereas CD80 and CD86 are present on dendritic cell. So that was about T lymphocyte and MHC class restriction. Thank you.